that all the girls, right, were attacking Savannah here, asking her questions about her work, shaming her for being a wife, asking her about divorce. Do you have a plan in place? Kind of taking shade at her for her business that she had, like you did before.
No, that was to correct that. I was not throwing shade at
Here's
all.
the thing.
I was genuinely
I was watching. No, you
Wait,
weren't.
I'm talking.
I'm talking. You're on my show. It doesn't really matter what you got to say right now, because I was observing the women's behavior and body language throughout the entire show when women were speaking to her, and I found it very interesting that there was a very sarcastic, undermining undertone, like, "Oh, you're 19 years old and you're married, but what if your guy leaves you? Do you have a job? What's your backup plan, etc." And I find it very interesting that like women do this, and then they wonder why it's so hard for them to find a guy down the road or be taken seriously, etc. Because women don't respect traditional values anymore. And the way that you guys are speaking to her literally proves that. And that's why I've kind of been letting it go on for a bit, because I've been kind of intrigued by how the women responded to her comments, and it's been very vicious and very pernicious. And
shame.
And I find it interesting too, because all she's saying is the truth about how men think. And a lot of you guys, gave your immediate female reaction, knee-jerk reaction of, oh, well, is that the best way to go? Are you going to still have your man, blah, blah, blah? The reality is men don't initiate divorces. The reality is that men typically, if they find a girl that has a low body count like her, statistically speaking, you're going to stay in a committed marriage for a long period of time. She got married at a young age when her value's still high. And, statistically speaking, she's probably going to have a long-term marriage. And all the girls here are angry about it, yelling at her or talking shit or being surreptitious in the way that they ask her questions like she was before. And, I mean, it's just very, very interesting that even when women say the things that we're thinking, you guys have a problem with it. I mean, you could go ahead and try to explain yourself if you want, but I think, the clarifying questions you were giving wasn't really about clarifying. It was more about trying to establish a semblance of dominance in your questioning, because you went ahead and confirmed her behavior is appropriate. Oh, yeah, it's our form to be on OnlyFans. No, it's not. It's absolutely deplorable. But women enable bad behavior all the time. Meanwhile, you got a girl here that's married at 19 years old. I think that's extremely successful. Matter of fact, it's something that you're trying to do, but she already got it at a young age. And her chances of getting her husband, right, at her age, I'll be honest with you, she's doing better than you are at 26 and still single dancing. But I find it interesting that you're trying to correct her.
So, just to clarify, when I was asking you what you did, I was genuinely just curious and trying to get to know you as a person, and I was not coming at you at all. So I just had to put that out there. Any vibe that you guys were feeling, that's my bad. I'm being as genuine as possible. I think it's wonderful that you're happy with where you're at and you're married and 19 years old. I'm not in the place to judge anybody for that. And I think success is definitely, it's different for everybody. I would consider myself to be a very successful person, and I'm in a very happy relationship. I was actually just telling my friends the other day, I feel like I am in a position in my life right now where I've manifested every single thing that I've ever wanted, and it's a blessing from God, and I'm looking forward to receiving that continuously. And I'm not the type to bash a woman ever. I think love comes in all forms in shapes and sizes, and so that's my bad if I made you feel that way, but that was not my intention at all.
This is why women hate each other, because the thing is, right, I was watching very closely as you guys were saying your comments and everything, underhanded attacks here, underhanded attacks there, and I was watching it very closely because this is a very rare situation where we have a woman that, is traditional and, is able to say what she wants to say, and she's saying it in
different tone,
the active voice versus the passive voice. She demonstrated this earlier when she was explaining to him. She was saying things in a convincing manner, and it rubbed a lot of the girls here wrong. And it was interesting to see the dynamic of how uncomfortable it made a lot of you, because she was contradicting a lot of your guys' life choices. And you guys would say some things and maybe correct her or criticize or whatever. But the thing with women, right, is that I study you guys. I know you're saying, I didn't mean to come off that way, but you did. Yeah, the thing with women is, this is why you guys hate each other, because we know, deep down, that you did mean to attack her a bit. And it's fine. You're going to try to play it back and walk it back like, no, not really. But the reality is, you were asking these clarifying questions to try to, find holes in her story about, what do you do?